one half of the hip hop group Run the Jewels, Killer Mike, has appeared on an NRA TV segment. We'll call it a segment for the purpose of this video, in support of the use of guns. Yesterday, America saw mass protests on, was it the abolition of gun control, gun usage in America, and the NRA used Killer Mike to get their message across. I'm guessing this pissed off a lot of people with this one. Firstly, my feelings on gun violence, because it really needs to be said. Personally, I'm against guns. I really am. After Sandy Hook, after the latest one in Florida a few weeks ago, there seems to be this horrific wave of gun violence that America seems to be numb to. And it's horrific. It is horrific being in Britain, watching these news reports of children and teenagers dying at the hands of an insane gunman who decides to open up on a school and kill their classmates, their ex-classmates, just randomly shooting people. So let's go on to Killer Mike and his background. Killer Mike supports guns. His family have had guns. He owns a gun. He is pro guns, but pro guns used in a intelligent matter. He supports gun control. He's a part of gun control groups in Georgia, the state he comes from. Right, this idea of Killer Mike being in support of guns actually confuses me a little bit. In the last 2 years, he's come off as very left-wing. He supported Bernie Sanders and got a lot of attention for that. He had Jeremy Corbyn open up for Run the Jewels at Glastonbury last year, and that made news, and that was massively big, especially politically, because I don't think I've ever seen a politician open up for a musical band at a music festival. So yeah, his stance on guns actually does confuse me slightly. I thought he would have been very anti-gun, especially as he supports Sanders, especially as he supports Corbyn here in Britain. I was a bit confused. But some of his comments are going to piss off a lot of people, especially the anti-gun lobbies in America. They probably thought they found the ally in Killer Mike because he's very left-wing leaning. And he makes some valid points in this interview. He turns around and says, when a black person gets shot by a white person, there seems to be no shit from the white people giving a crap about them. And it's happened over and over again. We've seen this in the news. We've seen young black people getting shot by police, homeowners, etc., etc. And you see a lot of white people not really care. And I'm going to say, and we know this is how Black Lives Matter came into existence, so black people could have their voice heard in this subject. Then he comes to this point of white people, and I'm probably paraphrasing him wrong, but this is how I interpreted this. These matches have only come about because white people only give a crap about them because white people have been killed. And you know what? I can imagine this is true. If they'd gone into an inner city school and shot up a school of black kids, it would have been, oh, it's black on black violence, blah blah blah. There would have been no protests over this. It would have just been, oh, it's gang violence, etc, etc, etc. But the fact that white people have been shot, I think that's what the major thing is. The fact a white school has been shot up. And let's face it, this has happened on numerous times. I think about 3 or 4 in 20 years. 3 or 4 since Columbine. And when he says this, I feel like he has a point. Then let's move on to another thing about he's not the air quote lackey of white people. And again, why should he support this? Because his so-called allies in the progressive left support the abolition of guns. It's in their constitution. It is in their constitution. The Second Amendment gives them the right to have guns. Right. So with that over, on to gun control. Killer Mike supports gun control. I support gun control. I would say I'd support the removal of guns, but, well, yes, I do. But if a person who supports gun control sits there and says, I support gun control, then good for the man. Good for the man. He doesn't need to have the progressive left, the progressive white left in America support, villainize him. And he will get villainized for this. Because he supports gun control. He supports guns. He supports the NRA. I really hope people don't give him shit constantly for this. I think this should be this shouldn't really be a talking matter. Someone's opinions on gun control shouldn't be a point that should make the news that people doing videos on YouTube. I think it's going to be these, let the man have his opinions. Let the man keep his opinions. And if he wants to voice his opinions and support gun control, then let him. Let him do what he wants. Don't badger the man. Don't hate the man. Because he disagrees with what you disagree with. It'll be interesting to see what the fallout from this is. And this could be another 2 or 3 videos. But it'll be interesting to see what goes on and how this goes on. And after that, I'll see you next time. Peace.